before we dive into all the content of this week's show, we just want to give a big thanks to our sponsors for the show, the Bowls Academy. The Bowls Academy provide game-changing content to all levels of bowlers, helping them to take their game to the next level. Visit thebowlsacademy.com to find out more. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Happy New Year. Welcome to 2025 and episode 37 of the What a Load of Bowls podcast. Simon, we're back.
We are back. Happy New Year, mate. How have you
too,
been?
Buddy? Yeah, well, mate, honestly, feeling a bit neglected. I was very happy when you contacted me and said, let's do the podcast again, because I'd have no what to do with myself. But no, it's good, mate. We had a good family Christmas and New Year, just the usual stuff, mate. But yeah, kids were spoiled. I was spoiled. We've done well. What about yourself?
I did see you did send me one photo over the Christmas period, and that was of a little Christmas present you got. Let's just explain to the listeners what was your little present that you got for Christmas.
Oh, mate, I'm on a fitness craze, so I got a push bike.
But it's assisted, isn't it?
This push bike has a battery. Yeah, mate. I got one of those e-bikes that are all the craze at the minute, and I might not admit this too much because I've seen the paper locally the other day saying that they don't want them to be legal anymore.
Oh, they're going to be banned, are they?
Oh, mate, it's I'll tell you what, it's a lot of fun. I've done about 50 Ks on it already, and like I said to you before we came on, mate, when the polar ice caps eventually melt, it won't be because of my commute to work anymore, mate. I'm on the
You're on the
bike and not in the car.
You're on pedal power. Oh, Flintstones pedal power.
Yeah, mate. Obviously, I was a good boy this year, and obviously Santa has nothing to do with Bowls New South Wales. Otherwise, I might not have got it. But luckily, yeah, mate, came through. What about you? Did you get spoiled?
Oh, I got a few things here and there. Nothing too adventurous. I guess Ellie got all the good stuff, saying it being her first Christmas. So yeah, Santa.
Well, for what
Santa
you're saying, there's room for improvement from you then.
Oh, I think so. I think next year maybe Santa might have to take a look at what he got me, but everything was all Ellie this year, and yeah, she had a ball. Obviously, presents they went to the side, and the boxes and the wrapping they were the best
things. Not bad for a first Christmas.
Yeah,
and Santa found his way to Brisbane. Okay,
he did. Yeah, he did. He found his way up there, and yeah, look, don't know about living up there all the time. It was pretty hot and humid, and just constant over Christmas. I think I stayed indoors a lot and stuck to the aircon and Netflix and a few Christmas movies, and that was about the height of it.
Mate, you're not wrong with that hate, mate. I am struggling. I don't think I should have went home this time of year. It was I'm finding it very hard to acclimatise back to the old Rutherford heat.
Well, I'll take 30 degrees over -5 and snow up to your knees, really, the way it is back home. I'll take heat over snow any day.
I would argue with you. I love the snow. So it is, but like I said last time, it eventually, like, when it's cold, you put more layers on, you warm up. When it's hot out here, eventually you're going to get done for indecent exposure. So
well,
you got to be careful. But, you know, it's like I say this now, I'm sitting here, 20 past 8 at night recording, sitting out the back in the open. It's still, 30 degrees or something. Oh, unbelievable, man. But,
yeah, bring on winter. Bring on winter.
Yeah, you're not wrong. What about New Year's, mate? Did you get up to much?
We managed to stay in Yamba for a few nights. And bowls related, we called into Yamba Bowls Club and had a bit of lunch there, yeah. And I'd never been to Yamba before, and I was quite surprised that the club had, I think, 4.5 greens even. Up
nice.
there. And they looked pretty good, and by all reports, a few guys that have played up there recently, they said the greens ran pretty good. So yeah, it looks massive club. It's huge inside, and they've got 10-pin bowling inside the club.
Oh, really?
Yeah, something I've never seen before at a bowls club. So surreal.
It is one place we've always talked about going right enough because I've got a couple of members that they love it up there. I said it's phenomenal up there. You should go and check it out. So I might have to next time we're heading up to the Gold Coast or whatever to talk to Aaron or see Aaron, we might have to call into Yamba for a couple of days and see what it's all about, I suppose.
Would definitely be worth a little stop, and it's a good spot for fishing. Anyone likes a bit of fishing. There was heaps of boats out and nice and relaxed, although it was peak season, so there was plenty of tourists around. It was busy, but definitely outside the peak season, I could see it being a nice, tranquil and relaxing spot.
This episode of the Bowls Academy brought to you by Tourism Yamba. Simon's on the payroll. Speaking of which, if you do want to sponsor a episode or two of the podcast,
sponsoring,
get in touch with Simon at thebowlsacademy.com. We had a pretty quiet one here, mate. So we just sort of hang out the back here. Kids played a few video games on the old man cave TV here, and then we just seen the fireworks. Noah seen the 9 o'clock fireworks, and he was done. And then the girls managed to stay up to midnight. Seen them; they were good. We went down to the brother-in-law's this year, just after Boxing Day. Mate, he's in North Sydney there, and he looks right down over the harbour and over the... Oh,
nice.
Did I send you that photo? I can't remember if I sent you that photo.
I don't think you did. Yeah.
He would have had a immaculate view of those fireworks from Sydney. And I see it's jumped. I've seen in the news reports it's jumped to the most wanted to be place for New Year's Eve now. It's come ahead of New York. Sydney has. So congratulations, Sydney. It's about the only good thing you got going for you, I think, because it's definitely not your traffic.
No, definitely not.
Anyway, mate, we've had a month off.
Mm-hmm.
I've been pulling my hair out. You've been enjoying yourself. What have we got coming up this week, mate?
Well, I thought we'd take a look at what's happening around the greens. There's been a few tournaments going on during that period. We had Summerland, South Pacific, a few different things going on. So I thought we'd have a look at some of the results of that. Yep. And a few posts on Facebook we might talk about, DJ, a few little topics that have been raised. So we might touch on those. Nice.
And the good news for the people listening, this is unscripted, this one, so anything can come out of my mouth at the minute. So we'll see how we go. Yes, mate, so those tournaments, Summerland Pairs, we'll start with that one up in Ballina.
Up near Yamba, good neck of the woods, DJ.
This episode brought to you by Tourism Yamba. But yes, mate, it looks like a beautiful part of the world up there. I'll be heading up for the state championships later in the year. Are you going up?
No.
Oh, only as a spectator? Yeah. Honestly, I didn't know, mate, honestly. But yes, so Corey Wedlock with a double there.
Yep.
Took out the pairs and then came back a few days later and beat some fella, Gary Kelly, in the final of the singles in what was a pretty good clash. Corey got the better 21-12, but there was a big turning point in the game at about 11-9 when Gary held a 3. Corey opened the head up courtesy of a short ball, helping him a little bit of a glance.
Mm-hmm.
And it sort of changed the game from there. But then the boys, they backed up. They got on a plane together, flew to Melbourne, played a bit of an exhibition game I've seen on Facebook, played another singles tournament, got to the final of that one. Gary got the better of that one. Yeah, now they're safely nestled up back up with Rilla, trying to fight it out, see who gets Jeremy's job. So we'll wait and see what happens there.
Those two boys seem to be just meeting all the time, in singles events and obviously two gone players throughout the country. So
they go all right.
No surprise they get to the pointy end of those kind of tournaments.
Yep. And South Pacific, mate. So there was as well. So they had the I didn't see all the events. I did see the men's singles and men's pairs and the fours because a couple of my old mates from Thurrool made it to the final of the fours.
Okay.
It was a step too far from them, but they went down to the Aitkins from Bargo. Yeah, young Jacob Aitken and the rest of the family. It was an Aitken 4. They made it through the final and won that one, so well done to them. And then there was another double success in the singles, mates, or singles and pairs, there was, mate, with young Matty Swan, now of Charlestown. Took out the singles and then teamed up one of his family members to beat Brett Dupre and Corey Thompson in the final of the pairs as well. So well done to Matty Swan, and a very successful player of the tournament down at the South Pacific as well.
Brett Dupre still knocking around, playing some bowls, eh?
Oh, mate, could you imagine if he played it full time?
I know.
What could have been? He's an absolute machine.
Legend,
still one of the
legend.
best. Yeah, still one of the best I've seen going around. Not too many bowlers get a bar named after them. So best thing that ever happened to me was that bar, and it's not because I'm a drinker, but the person serving me at the other side ended up being my wife. So it wasn't a bad trip to that one. But what else do we have? Oh, there was that little event on. There's a major singles going on down at Tarn Point at the minute, mate? Do you want to talk us through that?
Oh, if I have to, DJ, it was a weekend of bowls, actually, back into it. First bit of bowls I've played, 2025, after a good few weeks off, really. And, played Club 4s on the Saturday, had a big tussle of Tarn Point major singles semi-final on Sunday morning with one Raymond Pierce.
Not a bad lineup for the semi-final, mate.
Well, yeah.
Probably suited you going in against that game, being, no pressure, being the underdog.
Oh, I'd definitely say I was the underdog. It helped DJ that it rained all week and the greens were pretty heavy. So that was
poured
just
it down mud runner.
Going back to mud running days, yeah, and old heavy greens, but managed to get the better of young Raymond, fortunately enough. 25-24.
25-24, just the one shot.
One shot came down to the deciding end at the very end.
You are welcome, mate, because I was part of the match committee that actually made the right decision to drop that from 31 to 25. Because let's face it, if I had went to 31, you're probably getting done 31-25. So you're welcome, mate.
Thanks, buddy.
Not a problem at all. So the other semi-final still has to be played.
It still has to be played. Yep. So one more game, hopefully, to go, and hopefully get through to some champions.
Yeah. Have you won that one before?
Yep. I've managed to snag the Tower Point singles before. Yeah, I think that was back in the day when Turles was there and Ollie Forsyth and a few other red hot players at the time. Not as good as what I was, but I managed to jag my way through and win a major singles at Tower Point.
Jeez, that's not bad, mate. Obviously, they must have had commitments on that particular weekend or something.
They must have. International duties.
Not bad. And obviously, you're taking a page out of all our guest book because you're just dropping names there left, right, and centre, aren't you?
I'll try my best.
Yeah, good on you, mate. Good on you. All right, what else have we got to talk about this time, mate? So World Bowls is on at the minute. The World Bowls Tour, not the World Bowls Championships, but the World Bowls Tour, which is the indoors over there in Potters. Mm-hmm. Big result overnight, mate. Did you see that one?
Is that in the pairs that you want to talk about?
It was in the pairs. It was young Matthew Crawford and Mark Foster from back home. They came through the preliminary game the night before, got into the main draw against some fella, Paul Foster and Alex Marshall, and got them on the tiebreak.
Yeah. Did you watch it?
No.
Well, I didn't. I actually watched back through some of it today, and look, they got fairly beaten in the first set, and this goes down to sets play. They managed to then jag the second set and went to, the last tiebreak. But if you go back on the shots, like they would have been beaten if it was just over the amount of ends. But
yeah, just because of the way sets play shots, but the beautiful sets play.
Yeah, but sets play, you're always still in the game. Even if you lose the first set, you could get beat to 0 in the first set. You're still in the game. And Mark played a really big ball in the second set towards the latter stages of the ends and converted, scored a 3, I think it was, in the second last end and tied them up to win that second set. And he played some really good conversion shots from what I've seen, flicking through the highlights. And that was a massive, massive result for those two guys. Two guys that we knew playing back home. And to beat those two guys.
Matthew actually came out here for a bit. He was the coordinator at East Cessnock just around the corner for a little bit while I was out here. Yeah. So he was played a bit over there. So he was we were actually, funny story, we were meant to play district pairs together at Maitland City. Then he got the job at East Cessnock. He went over there. I teamed up with Darren Kedwell and we won the district pairs. It wasn't bad. Probably worked out well for me. But
that was huge result for those two guys, and hopefully they can, they'll be on a massive high after beating those two legends of lawn bowls, and hopefully they can keep momentum going and actually go on through and win the tournament.
That'll be them into the quarterfinals now, I would say.
Yeah.
So it is. So yeah, good job, fellas. Good job. And then the singles obviously will be played as well. The women's singles and the open singles will be played later on in the week. We'll give you a rundown on that when we get the results.
There is actually, DJ, there's a lot of stuff on YouTube. If people would want to watch any of those games, they're all on YouTube. Basically, quite a lot of them. So I was actually surprised when I went on today to look at some of those games that, there's quite a lot on there. So check it out, folks. Go on YouTube, World Bowls Tour, and there's the whole game's there.
Very good. So this episode also brought to you by World Bowls Tour, apparently. What else, mate? What else has happened? The big one. The big one that I was worried about for you, mate. The old WADA at the start of the year announced their prohibited list of drugs.
You sent that to me straight away. As soon as that was posted, you took a screenshot, flicked it to me, and I thought, what's he trying to apply here?
Just if you go to try to take some of them growth hormones to get your hair to grow back, mate, it might be on the ban list. That was all. Could you imagine if alcohol could put on the ban list? I might have a chance of winning something in bowls.
There'd be a lot of bowlers wouldn't be able to play.
There'd be a few of them, so there would.
But WADA came out with a new prohibited list of banned substances, and I think you can go onto their website and you can type in different medications and things, and it comes up whether it's banned or not. And you type in your sport, and it'll flag what sport has what substances or drugs are banned. So
jump on the WADA website if you're a bit scared that your blood pressure tablets may be putting you over the limit and banning you from the sport. Jump on there and have a check. Make sure it's not on there. What else do we have you wanted to talk about this week, mate?
There was another one you tagged me in. And
was that the governance one with Bowls USA by one and only Kate Carriage?
Yes, it was. So it was a good, interesting read. Just to give our listeners a bit, Kate Carriage, DJ, I've heard the name before. What's the background?
Well, she's currently the US Open singles winner.
Yeah,
but she's a former Jackaroo, mate. So she is. She won the Open Reserves the first year that it was an open event in Bowls, New South Wales, as a former Jackaroo back in 2012. She's part of she was, or might still be part of the Australian Navy, currently based in America now for that. Okay. I'm not 100% sure. I'm going to have to get her on the show and have a chat to her, mate. But yeah, she knows her way around a bowling green. And obviously she's taken she's been over there probably, 12 months or so now, I think the post said, or how long she's been there?
I think the post said she's been over in the US bowling for the last year while she was working there. Yeah. And she posted on your favourite group, DJ, on socials, Lawn Bowlers Australia. Put a pretty lengthy post, but it was a good read. And it was a bit of she stated here, a bit of an eye-opener playing in the US that basically, I think with all the talk about Brisbane and bowls becoming, and we've been part of that talk about bowls being an Olympic sport, blah, blah, blah.
I think you're underselling us there, mate. We've been a main instigator in that, but yeah, okay, we talked about it.
Okay, we'll go with that. Yeah. And she just wanted us to reiterate about the likes of the US is a member nation, but there's a lot of things that are quite different to the way we know bowls in Australia. And I think she sort of states a few things like that most of the bowls clubs in the US are run by like the state parks department, which is like the government. So it'd be equivalent of like our council run greens back home in Ireland.
Yeah.
And they don't have food, they don't have alcohol, they can't serve alcohol. So basically the clubs that are there in the US, their only funding is through membership fees.
Yep.
And they can't get sort of that income that we get outside of bowls in Australia in terms of, our fun money in the pokies and club, attracting people to come and have food and have a few drinks. And that's why bowls in Australia is where it is. But in the US, it's completely different and you're just relying on the members and money coming from members and membership fees. So if you don't have that huge base of membership, then really your income's pretty low, really. And
so you've basically got an association running the game or helping to administer the game that actually doesn't know how to administer the game. It's literally just there to make sure the grass gets cut.
Yeah, well, I think that's what she actually speaks about in her post is that because it's run by the parks department, they're just there to cut the grass and make it look good. And as she said, they just make it look good. It's like they want it to be lush and green. And hang on, you don't want it to be lush and green. You want the grass to be short and a nice playing surface. But that's one of the challenges that the bowls in the US faces. And I guess that's probably something not only in the US, but all those other member nations that we're trying to get on board or just starting out in bowls. That's some of the challenges that we face as a sport and that World Bowls faces as well to try and get those newer member nations or that don't have the likes of the footprint that bowls has in the UK or in Australia or in New Zealand to try and get it not off its knees, but off the ground running and get some money flowing in. Like she also mentions in her post that there's not a lot of equipment in the US because of like high shipping costs. So you think the manufacturers are either in the UK or in Australia and to get gear over there, which is even bowls, quite heavy. Shipping cost is high and other equipment, she says, very old at clubs, a lot of the equipment that they use. And that's definitely another challenge. And obviously then sponsorship, a lot of the manufacturers don't want to sponsor events because it's not really massive sport over there. So a few different challenges that she raised on her post. And I think it would be quite interesting if we could maybe reach out to her, DJ, and see if we can get her on and have a chat about playing bowls in the USA for a year. Yeah,
well, I was about to say to you there, it'll be a good one to talk to. I mean, might as well reach out. You'll have a tag every now and again, so give her a tag whenever you publish this episode. Kate, it'll be great to hear from you. Obviously, like we said, very good bowler in her own right. We know that, but to actually take that keen interest in the administration, that's obviously a bit of an eye-opener from someone that's grew up playing the game in Australia, saying this is the norm, to actually going outside and saying, well, hang on a second. I was just sitting there, mate, reading it there as well, like having to travel 4 to 5 hours to play championships. Like, can you imagine some of the guys whinging about that? It was crazy. It was part of the reason when they were redoing the regions and stuff why people weren't allowed to, or why the map wasn't drawn in a certain way because people didn't want to travel that far to get it. Like, but then again, that 4 hours to her is probably traveling there now is 400 kilometers, whereas you in Sydney's traveling 4, isn't it?
Yeah, it takes me 4 hours to get to work, DJ.
Unbelievable. But yeah, look, just looking there as well. Neil's obviously tagged in that, so Neil's doing whatever he can to help the US out as well. So yeah, it's a good read, that one. It's on that that Facebook page that you mentioned. I'm not allowed to say it, man, I get in trouble. But yeah, that was a good one. It's just good to hear that governance side of things from, like we said, another country, mate. So yeah, Kate, if you are listening, get in touch, Simon at thebullsacademy.com. We'll sit down and have a chat. You don't have to talk to Simon, you can talk to me. So just to try and draw you in there. But yeah, no, it'll be a good one to hear from you, mate, from your experience, but also your experience obviously as a jackaroo in Australia, but also over there in the US of A. I think sticking to the US, mate, there was that other post that I tagged you in, 'cause I know you love your stats and your governance and all that there stuff, but did you see that one about the worldwide sport of lawn bowls that was posted by Laguna Beach Bowls Club?
Yeah, quite interesting, that one that you tagged me in. It stipulated, well, the source of their data came from World Bowls.
Yep.
And we'll read out what it is. It's 5 diverse world regions that we have for lawn bowls. Yep. So that's
what are those five regions? North
America, Europe, Africa, South Asia, and Oceania. Yeah, that's the five regions. Yeah.
Yep.
And then we've got 62 member countries.
Yep.
So we've spoke about that previously with Neil in previous episodes, and I was wanting to try and attract new member countries.
Yep.
Then the next one is 1.26 million participants.
Wow. It always sounds good when you're into the million, doesn't it? But when you think about it, still could be more, couldn't it?
Yeah, like 1.26. What's the population of Australia, DJ? 20-odd million?
22 million, something like that?
Yeah.
All on the coast, too.
Yeah. Moving on to the next one. 500,000 registered members.
Yep.
And then over 10,000 lawn bowling clubs. 10,000.
Across those 5 diverse regions.
5 regions. How many do you reckon? How many clubs you reckon, DJ, are in Australia? I reckon there's about 2,000.
You're the one who looks at the census data. There's not enough photographs in it for me to attract me to it, but I'll take your word for it.
I reckon I don't know. I'll get me proved wrong. It's been a while, DJ, since Bowls Australia brought out any census data, to be honest.
Yeah, you had a whinge about that one time before, didn't you?
So, yeah, look, I don't know, probably in the region of 2,000, something like that. So to have 10,000 plus bowling clubs, if Australia's we're the biggest nation for bowls, we've got 2,000 of the 10, but it's a lot of bowls clubs elsewhere. Yeah,
it is. It is worldwide. So yeah, and then the last one there, made 5 major World Championship events annually. That's obviously your World Championships, your World Cups, World Juniors, things like that there, I suppose. World Indoors. So yeah, no, it was good to see those types of stats. That's actually quite encouraging, those types of stats in there, because we there's a lot of negative stuff around the sport now and again about how numbers are dwindling and stuff. So they actually see that's pretty good. It probably should be something that we should target and to try and increase.
Yeah, like 1.26 million participants, and then you've got 500,000 registered members. Like that's your area that you need to focus on. Like especially over here, like you got a lot of people that come down and throw a bowl on a green. But then to move those into registered members,
signed up,
people that want to play regularly and play championships and club things and get fully involved in our sport, that's the key from over here anyway, from Australia point of view. That I think that's definitely the key that we need to increase membership.
Absolutely, and leads us nicely into we want them to sign up, play championships, play pennants. And we are getting into the pennant season, mate. It is silly season in full flight.
It is, yeah.
So it is. Any luck signing another marquee for your platinum pennant stint, mate? Anything you can announce?
Well, I do believe that our second marquee player is Matty Flapper.
Ah, very good. One of the biggest drives in the game.
Yeah.
Pretty high. You'll be on his rink, get all your short balls out of the way.
They'll be in the road, won't they? Yeah. Nah, maybe that's why they won't put me on his rink. They're in the road.
Yeah, well, I know you've I know you've seen a draw, mate, and we're not going to get in trouble with Bulls New South Wales by releasing that draw that you've seen, because I think it is only draft. But yeah, pretty keen to see that coming out, mate. Maybe get you a few games, maybe get you up this way, playing at that other club in Maitland.
Will you be allowed in through the door to watch the game?
Probably not, mate, but you're welcome back to my club afterwards, so for a bit of a social event. But we'll see how we go. I have had contact about potential commentary, mate, so we'll see how that goes.
The dulcet tones of DJ.
I also had contact from the inside telling me that they wanted the podcast back.
No way.
And they needed me to be more controversial again.
What?
Start talking about the rules and stuff.
More controversial. They say that you sit on the fence too much. Is that what they say?
No, they say it's got a bit dull. They need me to start banging them again about the rules. I don't know if they want me to try and apply for the state match committee again, but I tell you, I won't be doing that. But it's a lot more fun on the outside telling them how they're doing it wrong now that I've been here. But
So speaking of rules and controversy,
yeah,
there was another one that you report on. Was it? I think it was BBC Sport. That you flicked
one
to me.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I don't know if we want to go down this rabbit hole, but let's just mention it. What was it?
World Bulls Tour banning the Israelis.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
I don't think we want to get too political on it, but
that's they got political by doing that. And I'll be honest with you, mate. Pretty naive to what's going on there, because I'm not really interested in it. Maybe there's not interested in it, but realistically, we don't need to hear about that all the time. It's one of those negative things you don't want to be here talking about. And to be honest with you, mate, it's pretty similar to what we grew up in, isn't it? Well, we were at the back end of it when we were starting to come through. But yeah, you're never not going to have politics in sport. We know that there's too much money involved in sport for there not to be politics involved, but that's taking it too far. I think one of the things they quoted me was they were worried about security. I'm not too sure too many of them are going to target the three guys that were coming out to play bowls as being, extremists or anything like that. You never know, but I mean, come on. But they had a lot of people. It was uproar because that decision lasted me. Well, I think I sent that to you in the middle of the night.
Yeah,
when I was my old narcolepsy kicking in. But I think I sent it to you in the middle of the night, and then by the time I woke up and the next morning, it was already overruled it. I know Neil had condemned it, or World Bulls had condemned it in the article.
Yeah,
but man, there's just there's enough silliness in the game without bringing that into, wasn't there?
I don't think we need to drag politics. We need to keep that out of our sport as best we can in terms of politics. And look, as you say, it's more prevalent probably in a lot of other sports that are high profile and center stage. But as you say, I don't think the lawn bowls event is really going to take center stage. And better off keeping well away from politics and dragging that into our sport.
Absolutely. That's one thing even I won't talk about because my intelligence level doesn't allow me to, Simon. Right, mate, it's 2025 into a new year. What has our partner, the Bulls Academy, got coming for us this year?
Well, funny you say that. I've actually got a little video coming out really, really soon. And it's just a little drills video. So something I was doing myself when I had a bit of a roll up the other week. Yeah. And just took a little video of myself just to show a little setup of a drill. Maybe for you, DJ, your backhand drive needs a bit of touch up. It might be good to keep the watch out for it.
Sick invite, mate. Thanks for that.
Invite for what?
To be part of a video.
Nah, we don't want your face on it.
Oh.
It's bad enough I listen to your voice. Never mind, get your face on there as well.
It's a pretty good voice, isn't it? Really. It's funny. We were at the Christmas party for Noah's preschool.
Yeah.
So we were, and one of the teachers came up to me and he was talking to me, and it wasn't until about 2 weeks later he came to me and he goes, I have to tell you, I was talking to you at that Christmas party. I had no idea what you were saying. Your accent got a lot thicker after being on the holiday. That was good too, mate. Like I said to everyone on the listeners, I had to go back and top it up a bit, mate. We can't get too Australian. So we can't. But that was a good one. Let's just remember about that while we're talking. But yeah, so we'll make a couple of videos coming out then just for drills and stuff using the practice targets, no doubt. You still got plenty of those in stock?
Still got plenty of those in stock, yeah. Yeah, jump on the website, www.bowlsacademy.com. We have plenty. I think, DJ, we're having a look at when we have some What Load of Bowls merch coming out pretty soon. Looking at, I think, some bowls cloths, a few different things coming out. So
nice.
That'll keep your eyes peeled on the website, and a little shop on our website. We have some merch coming out.
Nice. Bit of a rebrand coming up this year too, mate. And yeah, as we mentioned before Christmas, we're going to try and go fortnightly now as opposed to weekly. But if we've got plenty to say, you never know. We might just bring the episodes out when we can. Obviously, exciting times coming up towards the end of February, start of March, and into April with the just regular New South Wales pennants coming up. Also, the Platinum pennant, but also, mate, Queensland Premier League's not far away too, isn't it? It starts this month, I think.
It does, yeah. It's pretty soon, and a lot of the players go out and play there. Obviously, the elite obviously go around playing in all the Premier League events in all the states. So yeah, always a really good hit out up there, and really good tournament, and obviously the best of the best playing there as well.
Yeah, I actually got 2 phone calls about it, mate, from 2 of our interviews. So we did. Wayne Turley and Aaron Sheriff both called me about the Queensland Premier League for Tweedhead and Broadbeach. They rang me to say, stop contacting us, you're not going to play for us. So they did. I tried.
I was going to say, did they want you to commentate? Because they certainly weren't going to ask you to play.
No. Just I kept asking, if you need a player, happy to come up and have a look around. My brother lives nearby. No, it didn't quite work that way. But, well, man, it's all good. I'll just stick to the podcast. But as I said to you before, I mean, I've had a bowl in my hand one weekend since I got home, and I haven't touched it since. So better get out in the green with those TBA practice targets, and I'll wait to see your video, mate, and try and get myself back in the mood, I suppose.
I'm sure you'll be very critical of the video, and I look forward to your review of it in coming podcasts.
Just don't be paranoid, mate. Have some confidence in yourself. You're a worldwide podcaster. You know what you're doing now. Have some confidence. Indoor qualifiers, mate. Did you enter the indoor qualifiers?
No, I didn't.
It's on this weekend coming, I think.
Actually, I did see that it was coming up, and I was like, I should enter it, but I've got way too many commitments, and obviously that coming up to a 1-year-old to look after, and
Same. I like to use that one, actually. I'm not. If you win a couple of games, you win a couple of games, but I like the format because since they went to the sectional play.
Yeah.
Because it's that time of year. Like I said, I've had a bit of a break, and I always take a bit of a break this time of year, ever since you stopped entering the South Pacific with me. But I take that bit of a break, man, and then that's my circuit breaker to get back into it. Yeah. Because it's hard. I do find it hard to go out there and have a practice for a substantial period of time. Yeah. But when you've got 4 bowl singles and you know you're going to be playing 3 games, that's a good event to enter. Just to get some practice under the belt too. Like I said, I use that with no expectations, just to get back out there. And you're going to play on the carpet greens, as long as you don't go to a certain club in the vineyards. The carpets are usually pretty good, I think. I usually just use it as that bit of a head out. But unfortunately, this year, as I went to enter it, I realised that the New South Wales Country Championships for athletics are on, and my daughter's running that weekend. So
she takes preference. Yeah.
So he's starting to take preference to that. Well, she's performing better on the athletics track than I am on the bowling green. So, although I'm going to a state championship, you're not. Sorry, just to drop that in there, mate. But yeah, now once I knew that was on, mate, I gotta go and support Zoe for that. She's doing pretty well on that, so she is. So yeah, we'll be doing that in Maitland this weekend. Hopefully it's not too hot, but my word, it's hot. So it is. I'm still sitting out here now. What is it? 9 o'clock at night. I've got the fan blowing on me outside. It's just Australia, mate. How beautiful is it?
Didn't you ask Santa for an air conditioning unit for that shed of yours?
By the time Santa got the push bike with the battery, there was no room for the air conditioner.
If anyone out there has got a really good second-hand air conditioning unit,
and you want to sponsor an episode of the podcast,
get in touch with DJ at thebowlsacademy.com. Because I'm sick of seeing the sweat and this red face on the other side of my laptop every 2 weeks.
That's just the high blood pressure from having to talk to you, mate. So it is, but no, I think that's probably a good place to wrap it up, mate. First episode back for the year. It's been a month off. Yeah, it's been good to actually hear from you again, mate. You tend to ignore me when the podcast isn't on, so it's nice to hear from you. The invite's still open for you and Ness to come up with Ellie, mate, but yeah, you keep knocking me back. Well, no, first one of the year, mate, out of the way. Good chat. Good to see what's coming up. Good recap of what's been happening over the last sort of month or so. Obviously not much green-wise, but little bits and pieces here or there. And yeah, look, I'd love to hear over the next couple of weeks, maybe a couple of months, from the listeners that maybe haven't listened or have missed us for a month. Just send Simon an email or get onto the socials and drop us a comment. What do you want to hear from us this year coming? Like, we're going to bring some interviews. I know you've got quite a few big names lined up there, Simon, using your little black book. So we do have a few that we will line up and come up with. But I mean, it'll be good to hear from the members. What do they actually want to hear us talk about? Who do they want to hear from? Just things like that there. Maybe good to actually hear from them and line all that up as well. What do you reckon?
Yeah, it'll be good. And as you said, we do have a couple of big names lined up that I managed to get in contact with over the Christmas break. So all pretty keen to come on and share their stories. And one that I think that you rated in maybe the top 2 of greatest of all time, DJ. So that'll be an interesting interview for that one. And yeah, as you say, any of our listeners out there, get in touch with us. Anything, any questions, anything you wanted advice as well, from whether it be a club perspective, player perspective, any questions you want to ask. We've got some really good elite players coming on. So anything that you want to know about how they practice, how they go about playing different tournaments, just drop us a few questions and we'll soon put them to them.
And how they feel about using the TBA practice targets. Well, so now, mate, great to see you again, even though you haven't had your camera on. It's been a blessing. But mate, it's good to be back. Good to be back. I've missed it. So yeah, another big year coming up from the What a Little Bulls podcast, brought to you by the Bulls Academy. Looking forward to it. Simon, anything else to say before we wrap up?
That's it for this episode, DJ. Look forward to the next one and what we're going to talk about in terms of the Bulls world.
So, as always, folks, keep that little disc on the inside.
And good luck with those grades.